Okay, I have CV4 open, and I'm going to use that to grab a piece of brick wall so that we can paste it into a new document. So I'm going to do Control C to copy that. Oops, I didn't want to copy that one. I want to copy the one that's flat. Oops, let's try to grab one that's correct here. Hold on. Control C. Then I'm going to go ahead and open up a new document, a new project. Oops, cancel, file, new project. And its architectural template is what I want to select. And I'm going to go ahead and Control V to paste. And I'll place that somewhere along here, anywhere. And then I'm going to stretch that out. I'm going to finish pasting. Then I'm going to grab this wall and stretch it out a bit. Try to anyway. So now we're set to place some windows in it. So I'll just zoom in here so you can see what's going on. I'm going to go to Window under Architecture. If I don't have a window, I can load it in, but you most likely will have the double hung window, or you'll need to find it by going, to do insert and load it in. But I wanted to pick the 30 by 46 inch. The size is not critical, so don't worry about it if you don't have that. And then I'm going to go ahead and start setting a few of these windows in place. So I'll place the first one. It's facing out towards, if this is the front at the bottom of the page, the window is set correctly in the way it's designed. And now I'm just going to make a few duplicates of it, and I'll space them maybe like 5 feet apart. And we want a total of at least 4. And we're going to kind of do the evolution of, how windows would fit in brick. All right, so let's go ahead and create a view of this right away. So I'm going to grab my camera tool and under view, I'll step back here on a really sharp angle because we're really trying to help to communicate that idea of sense of depth. The other thing I want to do is I want to be looking up at these windows. So I'm going to get really low to the sidewalk. So I'm going to set these for 0. And you could also think about this as being like these might be second story windows or whatever. So that way we can get up and see what it looks like up in that top corner of the window. So now I'll just adjust the crop so we get a nice visualization of this. This is one view. You could pick another style of view, suit your own ideas of what you want to describe here. And let's go ahead and render this. So I'm going to go to Realistic Rendering, and I'm going to go to the Graphic Display options, get rid of the edges to give it a little more realism, smooth the lines with anti-aliasing. I'll cast some shadows. I'm going to set the lighting so that it comes from, I think, make deepest shadows come from the top right. And then we can set the background for sky. And I'll click apply on that. And we have a starting setting. So one thing that bothers me is this mutton between the glazings. So if we go to edit type, we can change them all by just turning them off. The top and bottom ones, because they're rendering as lines, they're not actually as structure. So let's just leave them out. All right, now we can start thinking about this idea of the evolution of the window. And this looks a little bit, I want, the better window is going to be the one at the end, but we'll probably pick another second view of this. So I'm going to hold off on doing any more manipulation with the view. So this is really the incorrect way to set a window in a brick wall where the trim is coming over the face. I've already discussed this in the introduction. So let's start making the first kind of changes. One of them is to get rid of the trim. So I'm going to click apply. And now we have a window that's starting to look a little more correct. I'm going to take it the next step now and turn off the trim. And I'm also going to do something where I'm going to set the window back deeper in the brick. So I'm going to set it back 3.5 inches. All right, so we're moving towards a more accurate or more realistic rendition of a traditional double hung window in a brick wall. And the last one we're going to do is actually going to be a complete change. We're going to actually make a set of elements for this. We're going to create the lintel, the piece of stonework that might exist over the top to support the bricks above it, and a stone sill, which is another classical treatment to these windows. So the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to click into this one, double click into it, and now we're actually editing window double hung. And the first thing I want to do is to save as. This is really important. I want to save this in a different family name. And I'll just save it to the desktop, and I'll call it custom window. I've already done it, so I'll just overwrite it. And I'm going to pause this and then pick up in the next clip the kind of modifications we're going to make to this.